What's up, guys? Another great day that we had today. Today is Thursday, June 25th. Um, Interesting day to say the least. It was quite the show today. Let's break it down. So, starting with my overall game plan today. Today, as you guys can see, I was looking for SPY to fill this gap above 740 and QQQ above that 728.50. Now, what's interesting is none of those two did it. That's the funny part. If we go here on the chart, you guys can clearly see that today was a complete puts day, right? Here on the left, we have SPY. On the right, we have Qs. If I was to just make, for example, SPY a little bit bigger, just to show you guys exactly what I was looking for. As you can see, we pretty much gapped all the way down back on Monday the 22nd, and we still haven't filled this gap right here. Now, my watch was simple. Break above this area of 740 and fill the gap at 743. Pretty simple watch. Never got it. So let's break down on what happened in the market today. As you guys can see, it was a lot of chop. If we go into the main tickers that I trade, for example, here we have Tesla. Tesla was a whole lot of nothing. Look at this. Straight up chop. Wick, 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 wick. Unfortunately, you cannot trade this. When you're in a range like this, it is so bad to trade. And this has been happening in the market. Call me crazy, but I remember a couple months ago, the first 15 minutes of the market would determine whether the market was going to kind of go up, go down. It's becoming now that it's like 45 minutes to an hour before we start picking a side. And I'm not used to this, but let's keep looking at it. So Tesla was in a range all day. Now let's look at PLTR. PLTR today, man. I don't know what's going on with PLTR, but that sucker took a nosedive today. So PLTR is on a freight train to the downside, which, funny enough, I'm in long term, so hopefully it doesn't keep falling. But listen, we're approaching some key levels of demand, so I think that the bounce should happen close to this 100 to 90 area on PLTR. PLTR was weak, but I couldn't get an entry. I couldn't get a retest of the pre-market. I couldn't get a pullback to the EMAs. I couldn't take orb because there was no real structure for it, so I couldn't really take PLTR. So it was frustrating because you see this drop happening, but you can't take advantage of it because for me personally, my criteria wasn't met for an entry. And then same thing with AMD. AMD free fall all day, but my criteria wasn't met for an entry, unfortunately. So what did happen today? What did we take? Well, for starters, Nvidia off the open was just weak. It was a bloodbath. As you can see here, Nvidia just kept dying off of the open. Nvidia falling, and I couldn't really get a read. I couldn't get an entry that I wanted because every pullback that I thought we were gonna get just kept getting lower and lower and lower. Now, right around this 1010 area, we finally started to see a pullback happen, which is where I entered puts on Nvidia. So as you can see here, this was a continuing trend down here, and then a little bit of a pullback here to the EMAs, VWAP, and ORB. Now, in this particular case, my setup was simple, right? In this particular case, I was just aiming for this setup right here. I was saying, hey, you know what? I want this 196 entry, and I'm going to risk 50 cents on this trade. I'm going to have a 0.50 stop, right? I'm going to have a 0.50 stop. I'm going to have an entry right here at 196, and my target is to take it to 190. That was my ultimate goal on the day. Did we get it? Absolutely not. The market really hasn't been trending as much as I would like lately, but this is what my risk to reward was going to be on this Tesla. So I was okay with it. Now, if you guys know anything about my style of trading, I do 3 different position sizes when I am trading. I've talked about this on my Instagram, on our Instagram. But when it comes to really clean setups, I try to do, if it's a 1 entry position, meaning no reload, I try to do about $10,000. If it's a trade that I really like, but I think has room to reload, I'll do half and half. So I'll do about a 5,000 and a 5,000. And if it's like a really high risk trade, 0 DTE, I got to really be careful. I'll probably do anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 on my position sizing on that trade. So that's the style that I've been going for. It's been really comfortable. I've been really comfortable with it. The only bad thing is that whenever I do take a loss on those full position sizes, I feel it. I really feel it because my losses will always be, minimum 1,000, upwards of 2K, anywhere from 10 to 20%. So, but that's why I'm very selective and picky when I do those full position trades. So taking that into account, like I said, all day today, I just wanted a pullback. That's all I wanted. And the only one that really gave it to me was this NVIDIA. So NVIDIA pulled back to the EMAs, it pulled back to ORB, VWAP, and just overall confluence. So I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to risk 50 cents on this trade, and let's hope for it to get a continuation. So right around this area, which is about the 195 area, we were up already about 35%, which is where we started taking some of our trims. Now, I took some more off at Pivot because I do respect Pivot as well. However, we didn't get that continuation. And I really was looking for this continuation because I really believed that we were going to hit upwards of over 100%. Now, I've mentioned in previous videos, I'm working on holding longer. So I really wanted to get this trade and hold my runners. I think I executed it to the best of my ability because I took my first trims pretty much deep 30%, which is amazing. And I took my second trims at about 45%, but we're not getting that continuation here. And that's the frustrating part. So I hope I'm not alone in feeling like this, but I want this to come down to the lows right here. At least give me the lows, right? But fortunately, we didn't get it today. We haven't been getting it overall the past couple of days. So it's been really frustrating from that standpoint. But hey, listen, we're still making money, so I'm grateful and I'm happy about that because let me tell you, there's nothing worse than waking up all excited and you get hit with a chop fest when you're in the market. So listen, I'll take a 30-40% trade any day of the week. Now, when it comes to this style of trading, like I said, I'm very selective. I try to only take these trades when all the stars align, if that makes sense. I need to have confluence. And if you guys know anything about confluence, confluence just means more than one reason to enter a trade, right? So if all the stars align, if I see volume, if I see all my criteria is met, I feel comfortable taking that trade with size, even if it's a losing trade, because I know that my criteria was met and I'm okay with that. I'm happy with it, right? And we got paid for it today. So today was pretty much a one and done. I did also take SPY on the side. But it wasn't really anything crazy. I took it off of the 21 rejection here. This red candle you guys see right here actually played closer to like about 25%. So I did take that trade. Nothing crazy though. I didn't go heavy on it. 0 DTE. I try not to scale too heavy when I'm taking 0 DTE. But hey, it definitely added to the gains. So today was an interesting day, but the market really has been chopping a lot lately, right? And we're near some key areas that I'm very surprised that we're breaking. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm very surprised that we're breaking some of these key levels. But listen, the market's overextended. We're due for a pullback. And overall, I think we will continue to pull back on some companies. But just want to show you guys some of the gains today. As you guys can see, 309, 295. This individual made $1,900. Mind you, it's 10:24 Eastern, right? So you're talking about not even an hour into the market and we were already done for the day. 542, 223, $500, $38, $300, $83. I made 4,400. It's all about timing, right? And that's the thing when it comes to trading. You can make a case that you can sit here and take multiple trades and just scalp them and take 10%. But I don't see it that way. I really think, and I'm a firm believer that, less is more. And you're going to see it all across YouTube. I'm not the only one that says it, right? You can find a bunch of other Discord groups out there that say the same thing, that less is more. And the reason for that is because you want quality over quantity. Can I sit here and take 10 trades a day and scalp them for 10% and make great money? Sure, I can. But number one, that's not going to be productive long term. And number two, I'm going to pay a lot in commissions. I use Interactive Brokers. So it's not feasible for me. It's not how I learned how to trade. It's not how I'm comfortable day trading. I'm comfortable, one setup, have different strategies, but know when to go in heavy, when to go in light, which I'm going to make a video about that soon. But just overall understanding where you are in the market. And right now in the market, for me to drop that kind of money, I haven't seen many opportunities to do so. So I'm being very picky, very selective with my entries, and I'm just waiting to see how we react because I want a direction to be picked already. You know, the market's been moving lately more so based off of news and tweets, more so than actual economic data that moves it. You know, this morning we had data come out at 8:30 in the morning, had a huge green candle on SPY. You know, you can clearly see it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This one right here, right? We had a big opening candle here at 8:30 in the morning. That's when news came out. That's when data came out, and then we just sold off right after. So yeah, news is pumping or dumping the market, but that's about it. Everything else, it's a whole different beast at this point, right? So I'm just trying to continue to figure out what the heck this market's doing. You know, it's frustrating sometimes. It is what it is, being transparent. But we make the best of it. You know, we make the best of it. And you know, I'm just trying to pick my battles. Know when to go in heavy, when to go in light, when to trade, when not to trade. I think that's one of the big secrets that is what keeps a lot of people from being successful, is that you think that every day is a day trading day, and it's not the case. You think that every day you got to go in with the same size. That's also not the case. So, you know, just wanted to make this video to show you guys what I took today. Share a little bit of my frustration of how the market's been. Not gonna lie, it has been a bit frustrating. I haven't been able to really do my setup how I want, but the few times that we have, we compensate for the days that we don't trade or that we take small losses. And overall, I'm happy, and you know, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. The past couple days have been great, but I've had to really be picky with my trades and my entries, and I've had to be patient. Yesterday, I had to wait 4.5 hours. Today, I had to wait, you know, 40 minutes for this trade to develop. So I'm used to being done for the day maybe within half an hour, but I'm seeing that that's not the type of market that we're in right now. Maybe in 6 months we will, but right now that is not the case. So just wanted to share this video with you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll keep pushing out more videos that's going to be entertaining and just educational for you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. You guys have access to our Discord, our Instagram. So let's keep the fun going, guys. See you guys in the next video.